Oh, I was just chatting with another treasure hunter and telling him about my ancestors. And there was let's see if I get the other picture up. But in the Civil War, oh, sorry. Sorry, I just had some sand in my eye. I had to get out there. But in the Civil War, my ancestor Christopher Darius Gorman, when he joined the Union Army as he played the fife, so he was the intelligence officer who because the fife, they sent a lot of messages over the flute, or the fife is a flute basically. That light's too bright, but trying to get out of there a little bit now. That's good. Um, Anyhow, he's in a picture of the with the screaming eagle in the Civil War that he was in the Wisconsin 8th Infantry and Company B, and Company C had the eagle, but Company B had the guys like the drum and bugle. So the drum and bugle and the color guard all go together, and he played the fife, and the eagle liked to hear the Yankee Doodle on the fife. Yeah, I got really sick on Friday night. Right at the end of the video, my nose. I said, "Oh, my nose is dripping. What's my nose dripping about?" And if I leaned forward, it would drip, 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 drip. You know. And it was when I sat outside in the sun, the drips were coming out yellow, and it's like, wow, that's not normal. Normal. I've seen white drips from the nose, but yellow drips, that's not good. And I had this pounding headache, and I had taken a headache pill and all that. And when I look up on the internet, nose dripping yellow, and it comes up cerebral fluid leaking cerebral fluid, and so that's not good. I better go to the hospital. And I went, and they gave me the the stuff, and I took my one. I got one more. I take one tomorrow, and then I'm all done with it. So I'm getting near the end of it. I'm feeling more energy, but even when I'm feeling good, I don't have energy. So, but I thought I'd do a little video, because Forrest Fenn has all these stories in his book and stuff, but it goes back about as far as his grandfather. Now, if I was to find the treasure, I could get a lot of books published just on my ancestors. Because my mother did family tree stuff, and I picked up. She died in 1989 when Forrest had cancer. My mother was killed by bowel cancer. They didn't see it because it was on the outside of her bowels. It wasn't on the inside when they did the colonoscopy, and it was on the outside, and so they didn't catch it, and it killed her in 1989. Trying to dump that, and it went right in my lap. But so my mother had started the genealogy stuff, and she had it back into the 1700s and a little bit in the 1600s. There was a story about my Allen family because my my Rogers ancestors married my fourth great grandfather, James Rogers, who was the son of James Rogers, who was the son of another James Rogers. But they're related to Robert Rogers and Rogers Rangers in the Civil War. Or not the Civil War, the French and Indian War. And Robert Rogers was more famous than George Washington. And George Washington wouldn't let Robert Rogers join the he wouldn't let him join up with the Continental Army because George Washington was afraid that Robert Rogers would take command because he was more famous than George Washington at the time, at the beginning of the Revolution. George Washington wasn't he was just he was part of the Rangers over Pittsburgh area and stuff. Maybe fought with Pontiac a little bit, but my ancestors, James Rogers and Robert Rogers, they took every French fort in Canada from the French in 1765 or some 1760s to, I don't know, somewhere in there. But yeah, I should have opened up one more. I got to get some pictures ready to show you and stuff. So I'm looking at that. But yeah, there's the artist Gary Zaboli who does artwork, a lot of Western artwork, and I'm sure that Forrest Fenn has read some of his stories and seen a lot of his artwork because he did dozens of covers for True West magazine, you know, and he's done a book. He ghost wrote a book for Phil Collins about the Alamo just a few years ago, and then he wrote his own book on the Alamo called An Altar for Their Sons. And it was about it's a big thick book. It's like the Robert Rogers book on the Major Rogers. I don't know if I got that right here or not. No, I don't. If I did, it'd be right here. And I don't. I got the triangulation book right there. End of the rainbow. But anyhow, my fifth great grandfather James Rogers was a co-conspirator with Ethan Allen to make Vermont independent of the United States and Canada. Thanks. Yeah. Well, I need my teeth so I sound correct, you know. But and this gum over here underneath there, that gum is like big, fat as my finger, you know, and it's pushing out. You can see that cheek looks a little fatter, you know. This gum's feeling nice, and that one's going. I'm swelling up, and I think it's to get over the lump of the and cover up the ones they pulled out. It's a mess. I'll survive it. I'm indestructible. Somebody said on another, while I was chatting on cow pies, oh, Bill's going to die before Forrest. You shouldn't say that, you know? You know why you shouldn't say that? Well, in 1989, when Forrest had cancer, some guy at work, I was at breakfast, first break of the day, you know, 10 o'clock in the morning, and I hadn't had breakfast, you know, so I got me one of them. I got me one of them donuts with the stuffing in it, you know, it's yummy with the frosting on it, or not the frost. It had whipped cream on it and whatever, and it had the custard in it, a big long custard donut, and I was eating that at first break, right? And this guy I worked with, he goes, "You know that thing will kill you." No, it won't. I'll be just fine. Okay, so the next day, go to work and find out that guy died that night. Don't ever curse me. Don't ever curse me. It'll be your end. Yeah. Yeah, it's like a reverse. I've solved the poem except the blaze. The poem isn't easy to solve. And when you've solved the poem and you get to the end of where the poem is, then you have to go searching around for all the stuff. And there's a CPU gun and Skippy's helicopter contraption. They're in the W of wood. And the Model A, the Ford cowl, that I have from his Buffalo Cowboys car was in the D of wood. He got a lot of D's. Right? The D of wood had that thing, and I'm out there going, "What the hell is that? Looks like a gas can or something." And I thought it was the back end of a car. I couldn't figure because it's only the one piece. You know, it was one piece with the two little side things. You might be able to find the little side pieces because they were just rusted and falling off. I just took the cowl and it made it too heavy too. Forrest couldn't have put that there alone. Somebody had to help him. And it might have been the guy that helped him. Might have been the guy that showed him where Moses was. Lavender blonde. Hey, Jason. Oh, game? What game? Playing Forrest Fenn's game. Pulling the cards out of his sleeve. He's playing poker and he's got cards up his sleeve. Yeah. You know, lots of things have tried to kill me, you know. Like sailing off the freeway, off the embankment, and hitting nose first, going end over end, and rolling down the hill, and walking out without a scratch, you know. And yeah, I've done a lot. Has hot springs that run into Arkansas, Cancer River, a Cancer River. A cancer river? I don't know what you're trying to say there. So I'm going to open up a few more pictures. Oh, where's one with me and my cousins? And that guy, I don't think Forrest know him. That one I shared with my friend. Let's see, where did he go? I'll show you in a minute here. There. And do I have one of where is he? I don't think Gary cares if I show a couple of his pictures because he's mostly commissioned to do most of his artwork. Like the magazine pays him to do drawings, and so most of the pictures on the covers of the magazines he's been paid for. Okay, let's open those. I'll show you a few. Oh, I got the phone. Ansel. It's trying to drop the phone and it's trying to log me off, you know. So these are my cousins. He's Robert Rogers. This guy he was a Canadian intelligence guy, but he's one of my cousins through the Rogers family, and this is Marilyn Monroe, and she's a cousin. That's another Marilyn Monroe. Yeah. And this is at the dedication for the Robert Rogers statue. There's colonial reenactors from French and Indian War. And this is up in New York near Fort Ticonderoga, where Robert Rogers and 74 of his Rangers in January 1757 in this vicinity fought superior French forces for several hours and successfully escaped. And I thought it was real cool. This is a golf course, and there's some teepees out there. You know, but it's a golf course. It's known as a battle on snowshoes. So it was a winter battle. And this is me, where my fifth great grandfather, Ethan Allen, demanded possession of Fort Ticonderoga. They pounded on woke up the commandant of the fort here, and he came to the door in his nightie, and Ethan Allen demanded possession of the fort. And the guy's like, I wasn't ready for this. Okay, you can have it. And so nobody got killed, and he took the fort. So that's me in 2005. Way back. This is at, if you see the new movie Northwest Passage, at the end they end up coming back to this fort, and this is Fort number 4 on the Connecticut River, it's in New Hampshire, right? The Connecticut River divides New Hampshire and Vermont there. But this is one of the, I guess, restored buildings of the fort. Oop. And this is the Fort number 4. They went up there to get revenge on the Abenakis for kidnapping English colonists, scalping them, killing them, turning them into slaves and stuff. They went up there to raid the Abenaki village for all their atrocities, and they found 600 English scalps on their lodge poles. So when people talk about Native Americans, they weren't all so innocent, you know what I mean? They killed a lot of white people. They killed quite a few of them. What does it say? I'm in PA. I've been to my location twice. No, no. He was joking about the 300 miles from Toledo. Yeah. Anyone want to search in Colorado? It's been windy and raining. The wind's still 13 miles an hour, but it was 40 miles an hour earlier. So this is one of Gary's bullies. I actually I have this one on my wall, or not my walls. I could only attach it to the cabinet door. I could put the frame and then kind of glued the frame to the door, So, but this is spying the fires of St. Francis. See, these are the campfires of St. Francis down here. And it's Robert Rogers climbed up a tree before he raided the village, and he claimed he killed 200 of them. And my peace pipe I got from an Abenaki chief. So, yeah, the majority of the searchers are up in, and that's Robert Rogers. That's a sketch of him from way back. And the majority of the searchers, let's go to Firehole. Okay, 10,000 people have searched Firehole, and people are still going to Firehole. How stupid is that? I'll take it into Canyon Down. Canyon Down might be a hint to where Warm Waters halt, because Warm Waters halts at the bottom. At the bottom it halts, right? You hit the ground, it halted. And what is the world's deepest hot spring? Yeah. People can't. He says be an abstract artist. Oh, yeah, I saw an awesome meteor last night. Okay, I'll switch back around here and get some other pictures up there. But my... So Ethan Allen and James Rogers were conspiring to make Vermont independent of the United States and Canada, or Britain and the United States. Basically, Canada was Britain. Mount Preston, yeah. Well, I think I could find a mountain that's not named, and I can name it after Forrest, right? I already named a waterfall after him that had no name. Why can't I name a? And I want to present that to the park ranger. Can I name this waterfall that don't have a name? I don't think it's in Colorado, but Yeah, you know what? When they had the Jamie drawing thing down there in Santa Fe, right? I was in my Fenn zone. I left at 8 o'clock in the morning, and I was there at 11 o'clock in the morning for the start, and I was there till just little about an hour before sunset. And I left, and I was back in my Fenn zone same day. Okay, and those people that well, once you get to the Colorado state line, you've gone too far. You know what? Fucking idiots. Truly, what fucking idiots. Yeah. You know, okay, Browns Park, way up there by Dinosaur, that's a little too far. But southern Colorado is not too far for Forrest to get there and back in a day. Yellowstone is. Yellowstone, you're going to need the freaking airplane to get there and back in a day. And he said he didn't fly. So, yeah. I close some of these so I can open some more. Yeah, there's some people that they ain't thinking right. They ain't got a clue what subtle means. Subtle is similar. Subtle is a substitute. Miss Jones is a substitute for Miss Ford today. That's a subtle clue. And Miss Ford might have been a clue to the Buffalo Cowboys Ford. Was the teacher's name even really Ford? That might have been put in there. You know? I had a teacher was a total bitch. I won't substitute. Her name was Barrage. She was disparaging. It would be awesome if you would dress like a dog for me. Dress like a dog for me? I can leave you in on a leash and watch a show where they had a dog show. Yeah, Jack's the dog. I ain't no bitch. I ain't nobody's bitch. He said use logic. And people have been putting crap out the booty about he means that. And he means the yeah. In any location that he names is not where it is. Because that is not subtle. He said when Richard Weatherall, he looked over the canyon wall and looked down into the ruins. Okay, my God, we're looking for ruins. Okay, ruins. You've got to look down into the ruins. Except these are ruins that aren't recognized. He's looking for that Indiana Jones type person like him. And what was Indiana Jones? He Raiders of the Lost Ark, Temple of Doom, and all that stuff. It's about temples and archaeology. Oh no, Indiana Jones, he was a Star Wars guy. No, how many? Watch it, Jason. Whoopee will get you if you keep retracting. Hey, Whoopee. And I finally got my endocrinologist called and rescheduled my appointment. They canceled the one for the 27th. And now it's on the 13th or something. Because I bitched at the VA, And I had last Friday I had my Senator Gardner's office. I had them call the doctor to find out about them not getting paid by the VA. You know, they won't listen to a patient, but they'll listen to a doctor. You know, it's because, oh, he's got a doctor in front. He's important. Gorman, he's not important. You know, the VA would like me to fucking just kill over, and that ain't gonna happen. Because I take too many vitamins. I take the daily amount, you know. I think I got another week before these are going to be feeling nice to talk more, better. Talk better. There's no such thing as more better. There's such thing as better. And my, let's see, get a couple more pictures up here. Oh, I gotta open up another folder. Oh, I was just there. Oh, I go to click on it and the whole thing shifted. I hate that when the computer does that shit. You know? Why did it take so long? This computer's supposed to be fast as shit. I swear my 50 megabyte hard drive Windows 90 or Windows 3.1 was faster. There. Okay, we'll use that one. But we'll use the original too. I'll just show you. It didn't matter. I just colored them. My great great grandfather, C.D. Gorman. I noticed Wikipedia changed the page after I got confirmation from a facial recognition software company about a picture with old Abe the Screaming Eagle, because my great great grandfather was in that regiment. That guy in the photograph was my great great grandfather. Yeah, I wish I got it on the Facebook page. I have a Facebook page, Old Abe the Screaming War Eagle. And that is a picture of my great great grandfather in the Civil War. And he my waterfall. Oh, I haven't named one money. Are you related to Eddie, Mike? I seen Eddie Money at the California World Music Festival at the Los Angeles Coliseum, 2-day concert in 1979. But I'll get to these pictures here. Look, I'm trying to show some family history here. So this guy here is my great great grandfather, Christopher Darius Gorman. He was born in 1845 and died in 1932. He died when my father died, and he looks so much like my dad. he looks a lot like my dad. And this other guy is Daniel Hall, and they served together. I don't know what Daniel, I think, played. He's got a drum. And Christopher, he's just got a flute in his pocket or something, the fife. He played the fife. But they got their canteens. And when I first got a copy of this picture, this was backwards. It was, you were flipped around on the other side. And it was because it's a tintype, so I reversed it to make it correct. And Daniel, so my great great grandfather, Christopher Darius Gorman. I told you about the Rogers and Allen. Well, my fourth great grandfather, James Rogers, was playing in the yard with Mary Ann Allen while Ethan and and James Rogers were conspiring to make Vermont independent. And so he married the great granddaughter of that marriage, who was the first cousin of Daniel Hall here. And so when I look in the census, I find Daniel Hall's daughter living with my great-great-grandfather, because Daniel Hall was killed at Nashville in 1865. He died at Nashville, so it's nice to have his photograph so that he's not forgotten, you know? So, anyhow, this is a photograph taken at Vicksburg in July of 1863. July 1863, this picture was taken. And they know this, they said, they claimed, they don't have any proof this guy was a Homiston, but he was known to be the Eagle Bearer. They know this guy was Sergeant Ambrose Armitage, who I have his diary, and I've been working on a movie script. And they knew who this guy was here, but all the rest of the guys in there, they don't know who the hell they were. But this guy back here, I'll bet you he was this guy's personal secretary. It's probably a guy known as Christie, who was his right-hand man. That's probably who he is. But I took this picture, you know, I could zoom in and where is he? Oh, come on. No. Here? I don't know. Oh, see, I turned it into some art. I changed the background. I put them in front of the Wisconsin Monument at Vicksburg, and I put a nice sunset in there with this. See, there's an eagle on top of the monument, and I put one flying by, and I gave him a new flag and that stuff. This is one I cut them out because all they had was a tent behind them, and I put them in front of a Civil War camp. That's C.D. Gorman and Mary Allen Rogers, my great-great-grandparents, probably about 1930 in Wisconsin, in Spring Valley, Wisconsin. I notice I colored the background in their faces, but their clothes I kind of left alone. Oh, there's my Clovis Man logo. There, see, here's where I cut the backgrounds out and put them in. I colored the picture. And this is where I took the picture from the Eagle Regiment and his picture when he was 89, or, you know, near his old age, in his 80s. And I used the thing and I grabbed, you know, shades. So I grabbed it from up here and I put down here, and I grabbed from this picture and put up here. And all the facial features matched perfectly. And I sent it to this animatronics. This company does facial recognition software. They're the big facial recognition software company. And I sent it, I said, is it possible? You know, my comparison says, and this is what he said. You know, thanks for your email. Image resolution is too low to make a comparison. I thought it would still be fun to process the files to show the results. It looks like you did a good job aligning the two images, and the product I use, Forensic GPS, does exactly that. With an added third dimension, the product generates a 3D model from 2D input. The 2D input is an image of a face, and associated features, points, i.e., icon, I know that, from there, an estimated pose is delivered. And with that, two separate images can now share common coordinate space for overlay comparison with higher resolution images and possible. So he's talking about how the software works. Let's go on. The conclusion is, and everybody's text pops up on top of it. The conclusion is usually a metric that describes likenesses. It is a computer making a decision that the two are a match. Okay. Attached are two screenshots. One shows a split view between the faces in 3D. The other shows the later photo rotated somewhat. Although the image resolution was low from my viewpoint, the general shape of the eyebrow, bone structure, and constructed face and nose shape do suggest that they are the same person. There's also a hint of the same nasal labial furrow. He's got a bump on the side of his nose. That's in both pictures. In the young man, that is quite prevalent on the older gentleman. Thanks for your help, Sean Deschette, systems engineer, Animetrics. I shared it with my cousin. So, right there, that guy just confirmed to me that, yeah, that is my great-great-grandfather, and he had reason to be there. He played the fife, and the eagle loved to hear Yankee Doodle, according to the stories. Let me turn this around. There. So my great-great-grandfather's in that famous, the only photo of Il Abe with the troops in the Civil War. He was known as a Screaming Eagle, and even in Forrest Fenn's book, he has, shame on me, I can't remember her name. The soldier, the helicopter pilot who lost her leg, and she, had the Screaming Eagle thing in there and all that. The Screaming Eagle, boom. My great grandfather played the fife for the Screaming Eagle. and 101st Airborne is named after that eagle, the Screaming Eagle of 101st Airborne. Still got wind power, and it's been raining since about 2 in the afternoon. And 38 degrees here. I guarantee you it's snowing in the Fenn zone. It's snowing up there. It's supposed to turn to snow tonight here, even. And this is, April 22nd? 22nd? Boy, that's 4/22. In 4 months is Forrest Fenn's birthday. Buried. Oh, it's buried in snow. It's wet. People don't get it. There's a process called wet bronze, where because bronze is made with tin and copper. They throw the tin and the copper in there. Normally, you heat it to about 2,000 degrees to make regular bronze. But to make wet bronze, you only heat it to like 1,500 degrees, and the metals don't melt together completely. And when you pour it, it comes out colored different way, in different colors and shades, and it's called wet bronze. He said the chest is wet. He didn't say the treasure was wet. He said the chest is wet. I know that chest is wet because it's made with wet bronze. It's wet even if it's in a dry humidified vault at the museum. Speaking of the museum, oh, that was that guy in the museum? Was that who was the guy? Night at the museum. What was that guy's name? Not Robin Williams. Was another guy. Ben. Where's the actors? Get down there. Ben Stiller. Oh well. There's that other guy, Mr. Dobbs, or whatever. That Mr. Deeds. The guy who was in that movie. I used to, when I lived in Manchester, New Hampshire, I used to go to they had a bar, the East Side or East. East. My sister's was the East Side Tavern in Bremerton, but there was a what's that? There's a hair in the corner of my glasses. No, it's still there. Maybe it's a glare. Yeah, it's a glare on there. It looks like a hair. A glare that looks like a hair. But can't remember that actor, his name either. But he's a fun comedian guy. And he used to hang out at that bar. I used to go there. I lived a block away. So if you're going to drink, you want to live close to the bar so you can walk home. I was working at a place that made test furnaces for NASA and stuff that they put stuff in, and it go to 2,000 degrees Celsius or stuff like that. And you had to have look inside there with smoked glass. It was glowing hot like the sun inside those ovens. Burned. Burned? What's burned? Using the chase is an opportunity to find love, since he will never find the treasure. Who? What, wait, what? Hey, Mike Mooney! You just fucked yourself there, buddy. I'm gonna take you out right now. It's not the first time, I think. Boom. Yeah. Don't ever accuse me of mental illness and bullshit like that, you cocksucker. We're gonna need groupies. Yeah. Later, Mike. Yeah, he's gone. That piece of shit. Whoopie, how do you let him do that? Yeah, I don't know who Mike is. You know, Mike, I don't know you, and I'm not missing anything. You know, you gotta be rude and shit and insult people like that. You don't belong on the channel. You don't belong in my chat. He was probably born with a silver spoon. Who's Mike? Maybe, I don't know. Mike Money. I just asked him if he was related to Eddie Money. I didn't insult the guy or anything. No reason for him to go insulting me and stuff. I go to the VA. I don't even have a mental health doctor. I'm actually suing the VA for saying that I had so much that my illness was in my head, because my doctor said no, you're absolutely. You're not imagining it. You have blood cancer. And so the VA for 15 years, you know, every doctor, somatization, he's just imagining it. I'll show you, VA. You assholes. They don't like VA doesn't like me because I fight. Because I'm constant war with them. If they did bring out the fucking peace treaty and stuff, I wouldn't be so angry. Yeah, it makes me angry when I'm trying to get help for a health issue, and these fuckers are. Well, he talks kind of funny. So it must mean he's stupid. No, the way a person talks doesn't mean they're stupid, right, Joey Nelson? you know, it's just because he's from the South. So some asshole from New York says he's a fucking nutcase or something. And it's just no. Well, we know, okay, if idiots come from the South and assholes come from New York. Yeah, I got buddies down in the South. I had no problem with the South. I have rebel friends, and I stand up for them and their flag, even though my ancestors were totally Union. I had one ancestor was a I think you meant warrior, but. One of my ancestors was a doctor from Springfield, Illinois, Dr. William Wallace Walker. And I think he probably was Mr. Lincoln's doctor sometime, because he lived right there in that same community. And so I'm related to this Walker family, this big Walker family. See, my ancestors came on the Mayflower, Hopkins, John Hopkins, Mary Hopkins, and his son John Hopkins. And my grandfather is descended from Mary Hopkins, and my grandmother's descended from the son John Hopkins, and they're both descended from the John Hopkins, the father. Mike, what's his ass, was accusing me of being the example of mental illness. You got rid of that piece of shit. Some people think that it's okay to insult somebody that they don't know. And as far as I know, that guy's just an emoji somewhere, he's the toilet paper emoji. Fish all. Yeah, you catch any? Oh, I know who's fishing. Jeff. Girls, let me know. Tickets are going on sale. Yeah, I want to get me a ticket to go see Phil Collins this October. Yeah, what do you think of that? Whoopee, should we get a couple tickets and go see Phil Collins? I might be able to arrange some backstage passes through my other friend. Yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah, I was trying to talk about my family history and stuff, and you get that Mike guy. I took him out. He's blocked from the channel. Yeah. So there's one Phil Collins song you don't want to listen to too often. But I remember listening to it one night when whatever. We were doing some Cheech and Chong activities. Why do you hate Black Sabbath? But I'm not into death metal. I don't hate Black Sabbath. Black Sabbath. I like some Black Sabbath, but I'm not into Megadeth and devil screaming music, and I'm before that time. I don't watch horror movies at all. I had enough of a horror movie in my dream last night. I was having this dream, and there was a baby whale. He was like this big. I don't know, baby whales are bigger than that, but this one was like this big, and he was sucking on my hand. You know, but he was a white whale. It was Moby Dick. I caught the big prize, right? And so the whale had swam out the door, and outside was, well, the floor was water, and outside was all water. Everything was water, but they were like grass, like huts in the water. These buildings in the water, kind of like in a swamp, or I don't know. It was a weird dream. And I went outside, and I had some friends that were outside, and I was going to get in a boat with them and go looking for the little white whale that I was petting, And these guys took off. I couldn't figure out why they took off so fast. And then I see these like 10 dozen other guys over there, and they're all shooting arrows at them taking off in the boat. And then they turned and looked at me, and I took off swimming because I'm a swimmer. I wasn't flying in that dream. That's weird. I was swimming to get away. And I went into another building, and they came in, and they were, I'm hiding behind some steel steps and stuff, and they're aiming their arrows at me, and it's about time to wake up. I'm not going to get killed in my dream. So that was a bizarre dream. And I thought, man, you could make a movie about that shit. A bunch of guys with bows and arrows hunting. Well, that's cowboys and Indians, right? Basically. But a modern sense, They could have steel arrows and whatever. Could have gotten a bottle of Shankum-topotamus. They actually, in Ely, Nevada, there's a Gorman's Market, and they sell sarsaparilla. It's a grocery store chain named after one of my cousins. Here, I got some. I got some there. I think I told you guys about that. When I went for shoulder surgery, they had a tube in my mouth, and when they ripped it out, they tore some skin off the inside of my lower gums, and I've been waiting. It's like, well, that was a month ago. That should have healed by now, and there's still a rough spot there, and I scraped it with my fingernail. It was a little piece of bone growing there. So now that's good, I found something really good to eat while you're waiting for dentures. I got a country gravy mix, and I got some sausage. So I cooked the sausage and chop it up really tiny, small as I can, and then mix in the gravy with it. And I had some biscuits in the oven, and pulled the biscuits out, and so I had biscuits and gravy for breakfast, and that was a good feeling to have all that gravy in there. Had a plate full of biscuits and gravy. You just got to cut the biscuits up small enough to swallow. Boom, boom. And they kind of soften up as they're soaking in the gravy anyhow. Emojis. What the hell is this? Yeah. I don't know what that's about. Do you think Bigfoot is real? I have a buddy. I was following his channel, and this was 3-4 years ago. I was following his channel, and He's up in British Columbia, and he was doing a bunch of stuff about he was smoking pot and you know showing you how to make how to make dab oil and stuff like that, you know, and or waxes and stuff, or I don't, you know, show you how to make a press to squeeze the wax out, whatever. And, and then was posting my search videos, and he watched one. Oh man, that gives me a great idea. And now he's a Bigfoot whisperer, and I don't like it. You know, I watch some of his videos, but I'm not into Bigfoot tracking like that. There might be a Bigfoot out there, but I want to see a real Bigfoot. But he says he's tracking the Bigfoot, and this is you know, the Bigfoot scratched this tree and that tree, and the hive lives right down there, and they kidnapped him one night. What, you know, it's all silly. All you need is a crock pot and a bucket. Yeah, crock pots don't do well off grid with unless you're in Arizona with a lot of solar panels. They just don't do good. I got 3 solar panels and 1 wind generator. Well, no, I have 2 wind generators. One is a spare. If the other one breaks, I can put the I got one standby that I can put up. Oh. Bucket. It looks like a horror movie. Damn room looks like a horror movie. Is yeah, well, I'll get out my sickle if you don't behave. You know, cut your balls off and stuff them down your throat. Or maybe I just cut your fingers off so you can't type anymore. How's that, Czar? Roast a chicken while you are gone hiking. Come back, kill the 8 coyotes, and then have the remaining chicken. I was outside. I was standing in my doorway, and I seen Jack go to the right, right? And then another one just looked like him. Went, oh, that's Jake. Jack has a neighbor friend named Jake. He's the same, just shorter hair, and a little heavier. Jake's older. So yeah, the neighbors were walking around the block, and their dogs come by to visit. And Jack goes over and visits their dogs, and this is the guy I ran into at the laundromat. And they got the golden frog. Yeah. Let's try that again. Oh Lord, he landed on a piece of paper up there. Here we go. Ribbit. He landed in the exact same spot. That's good. Oh. And I thought I could chew these, you know. But the sugary crust is, you about gotta chop it all up before you put it in your mouth. They're hard to, and the best thing is they don't stick to my teeth anymore. Yeah, I can joke about myself, but you can't. Okay? No jokes about that stuff. I'm getting it done because, oh, Bill's missing a tooth. Bill, you know. So like, I'm gonna get me a frickin' Hollywood smile. How many places have you lived? I grew up in the Bay Area, California. I was the last white man born in Oakland, and I guess we lived when I was an infant. We lived up in Boonville, California, and then down to San Jose and Mountain View, and I went to high school in Fremont. And, I went in the Navy, San Diego, and Vallejo, and Great Lakes, and uh, that stuff. And I didn't like it. They guaranteed me data system school, computer technician, and sent me to gunner's mate school. And I said, double blazes, Navy, double blazes. I'm guaranteed computer school. Get me out of here. So I did. But I was in long enough to earn my benefits. I said foot burgers like that in high school. Yeah, I worked at a place, Sam's Burgers. I was just the night cleanup guy. I'd go in the evening. Sometimes I cooked the burgers and stuff. They were a lot better than McDonald's burgers. It was right on the rail tracks, right on the cruising strip. My hometown, Fremont, was used for American graffiti too. They used our drags. We had drag strip, Fremont Raceway, famous racetrack, and I need something to drink, and this is all I got here. This infection I think I got is from in my sinuses, and it's dental work that gave me the infection. When I went to the hospital, the nurse says, "Okay, open your mouth," and she looked in there, and I think you got the flu. I said, "You stupid freaking bitch! Didn't you see all them holes from all them teeth being pulled? I got an infection from that. They were pulled out of my sinuses." That'll kill germs. Ooh, wow, well. Woo. Because Forrest Fenn is going to give me the promissory note to go straight to it. How do you think you're going to go straight to it without instructions from Forrest Fenn? Answer that. The poem says my trove for all to seek. It does not say my treasure for all to seek. Become an abstract artist. Arrange his poem in abstract. Now, I went through Paris, Texas. I stopped at a Sonic there for a burger, and it was the worst Sonic I ever went to. That was just before going to the battlefield in Arkansas, where my great-great-grandfather, he got shot through the left arm. It shattered his bone in his left arm. It entered his left shoulder, and it came out by his right shoulder blade. It missed his spine, his breathing, all of that importance, jugulars and all that important stuff. He lay there for 3 days, and General Fenn, he says, "Give me your hand, I'll help you up, soldier." He says, "Go to hell, I'll get myself up." Fremont, Washington? No, Fremont, Irvington. Yeah, I swam against Washington. I used to swim in there. I got my lifeguard certificate at Washington. I went to Irvington. I took one computer class at Ohlone College. He got flanked, shot from the side. Uh-oh. Why are they messing with me at all? What? Hey. Hey, Whoopi. Jason's pretty safe. No, don't bother Jason. Jason is one of my a true fan. That reminds me of horse. Just don't, Be too snarky on here, so. Warm water's halt below the belt. Warm water's halt at the bottom. They halt at the bottom. Yep. I made my son a moderator, but he don't come on here, so he don't want to be a moderator, I guess. They always thought the treasure was in Colorado. No, I first searched in New Mexico. I first searched. My first search was near Lake Hopewell, and fuck, that's a hell. I walked around, to get down the canyon. Placer Creek, is Placer Creek a hint of riches? Yeah, and it goes through a little canyon down below, curves around and goes between the two, and it's a steep canyon there. And I was up on top, and I went down, I went through it, and then I thought, hell, that was like 2 miles to get here. I can't go that way coming out. So I thought I'd take this beeline up the hill, and that about killed me. I think on Friday I see my doctor. I might get some oxygen to help me breathe better, and maybe I'll. It's for oxygen for breathing at night. Because I did a sleep test to test my oxygen overnight while I slept, and she got the results back and wants to see me. So that's fine with me. I don't know if the VA, she ordered a prescription 2 weeks ago, and the VA ain't got it out yet. I can check though. Only 1 mile is insane while going through. Yeah. Yeah, I had there's some videos of my search in New Mexico back in 2014. 2014, in May of 2014, I was searching there. And then it warmed up, and I came up to near Browns Canyon and Salida and Buena Vista and stuff like that. And did the hot springs up there, Cottonwood Hot Springs. I'm going to go to a spring that, not many people, it's just a place on a map. I'm having trouble figuring out where the spring is there, so I'm going to go look for it. But it's one of my areas below his church in the woods. A place where people cannibalize people, isn't that? No place for the meek, too. Because there's two of everything. There's got to be two no places for the meek, too. Where warm water's halts and all that. There's one at the beginning and one at the end. It's mirrored. It's a mirror. It's the same coming as it is going. Pineapple. What's pineapple do? See, while I'm talking, I can't read and talk at the same time, so I have to pause and read it. I left my freaking build down at the river on fishing day. I need to go get that. Yeah, see if it's still there. Yeah. I've got little things that I'm going to leave in my search, like these stones with his tombstone message about, the homely girl and all that. I'm going to leave some of these in my search areas. The gypsies and the stout-hearted men are so far apart, and you don't know if it's at one end, the other, or in between, or further down the road even. But my alternate camping area, because you can only camp 2 weeks at a time in the Fenn zone, and then you got to go camp somewhere else. My alternate area has a bunch of ruins too. Yeah, I got a few of them. See, there's another one with the same thing on it. If you should ever wish to please my think of me and wish to please my ghost, you know, forgive a sinner and smile at a homely girl. Yeah, I made the I got a little laser printer. I got a little video of me making this thing. And it's the Omega with the where warm waters halt, rainbow trout, or it's got brown trout. Don't say rainbow trout. If he said brown trout, it can't be brown trout because that's too direct. That's not subtle. Free Amazon store and sell. Oh yeah, I've got stuff on Zazzle. I wish that Vista Print would let you have a store front operation going, you know, and so people could order straight from them. And but you can get my the Double Blazes shirts on Zazzle. Double Blazes University or Double Blazes U. I'm in my Clovis Man store. Brown trout are not home in North America. No, they aren't. Their home's in Germany. Oh. But do you know up in Canada, Alberta is a German name. It has German meaning. Forrest says he don't sprechen Sie Deutsch. Yeah. Man. Oh. If I finish off these antibiotics and if shit comes back, man, I would be. Yeah. Well, I gotta stop. I'm gonna stop by and. I see my doctor Friday, but I might stop by her office tomorrow. And I don't know. I take another one tomorrow. It's Wednesday. If I feel it coming back, I'm going to go down there. Hey, it's coming back. Because I know it's still there because I can taste it. Think about having a yard sale this summer. Simply create items. Yep. A yard sale, yeah. I got a fucking 5-acre lot here. I could have a big yard sale. Then nobody would come because they wouldn't be able to find it. I go see a guy tomorrow. He, a veterans rep. And he just had surgery, probably from the same doctor who did surgery on my shoulder. But, you know, because I got to file a claim against the VA for not diagnosing my cancer 15 years earlier. You know, it says you can live 20 to 30 years with this cancer. So if I've had it for 19 years, then what, I got 11 years to go, you know, except getting treatment and all that might help. This is one thing. I've got bone cancer. I don't want any gum disease problems or anything to interfere with that, so that's another reason I decided to get dentures. Amazon also avoids paying taxes, yeah. Oh, I don't know. They want you to give them your tax ID before you can sell anything or anything. Even PayPal. I have a PayPal link on my main page, I think, in the About for donations. I set that up. Somebody wanted to donate, and I set that up. I think it's on my YouTube, my channel, and I think it's in the about. You go to about on my channel. Yeah. But that's pretty sure. I thought about starting one to GoFundMe to get a home put in, you know. But because they won't loan you money. Oh, it's off grid. We can't finance something off grid. You know, they need it so that the banks aren't in control of whether they loan it to you or not. The VA needs to say, you got to loan this guy the money for his house on that property right now. You know, it's just a way for them to discriminate. Because actually here, you can drill down, if you drill down 2,000 feet, you hit hot rocks down there, and then you pump water in there, and you got a hot spring. I can have a hot spring here. All I got to do is drill down 2,000 feet to hit the hot rocks and pump the water on them hot rocks, and it come back up bubbling. I can have a nice warm hot spring going here. And if you got it's called geothermal. And then your house is heated by geothermal. Your electricity is made by geothermal. Everything, you know? Yeah, I could have my own, just drill a hole. And I looked it up, and it's like, it's not considered a well. You're doing geothermal, that's not considered a well, so you don't have to have a well permit to drill for geothermal. Togo River, name stream, Togo River. No, what? Spring, not stream, spring. Geothermal spring. No, I'm not creating a new river or creek or anything like that. Water probably just flow right back into the ground because this is like a beach of an old lake. Yeah, I mentioned to the neighbor drilling my own well. He said, don't do that because if you ever need a call for service on it, they won't service your well if you did it yourself. So you have to have the well company do it. And I forget, what was it? I can't. It was less than. I think I need about. I can't remember. I don't want to misquote, but it was either 7,000 for that or it was 7,000 for the well and the septic. You know, because it's all sand and gravel, the type of land here. You know, and so the water drains off real easy. And it's very easy to drill. No, no, it was no more than 7 for either one here. They're because this is sand and gravel. And the water is 60 feet. The water is 60 feet. So to put geothermal in, it might be 20,000 to go down 2,000 feet, but not for my water well is 60 feet. The water is 60 feet down there. I don't know. They need to. The water here is so freaking clean. They don't need to do that. I'm in the San Luis water aquifer. You know, it's one of the biggest in the country. Water trap. Yeah, I can put a bucket on my awning for my RV. I put a hose on I take a 1 gallon bottle. And I got a hose adapter on the cap, put that on there, and run it into my water tank on the RV, and I hang it underneath the end of the awning and tilt the awning so all the water runs into there. And then I filter it and all that, clean it. Take it easy, Jason. Okay, my gums are hurting. I'm going to go too. Nice. Green living. Yeah, it's pretty brown outside. It's a bunch of cactus and sagebrush and little weeds. Jack, he runs through it, and he just makes sure he lands his feet where there's dirt. He avoids stepping on any plants because he knows that some of them are cactus. I don't know if he smells them or not. Yeah, I got to fix me something to eat for dinner here. My cheeks are hurting. Oh, my cheeks are hurting from the bone. All them empty sockets filling in with bone growing in there, and it's miserable. But I'm still getting a taste in my throat from the infection, from my sinus, and one more. I take that one like 2 tomorrow afternoon, and then that's it. And so the next day I'll be prepared to go down to the fan club, etc. I might upgrade, or maybe tomorrow I'll call and upgrade my appointment with my doctor from Friday to Wednesday. Because when you call into the doctor's office, we have same day primary care appointments. Oh, yeah, that hurts right there. Yeah, I'm not. I'm not in a tree fort. I'm in a Winnebago Adventurer with rain pattering on the roof, and it's probably gotten quieter because it's turning into snow, probably. Because the wind is coming from Mount Blanca, so it's just snow blowing off. And old school boombox. Right, much better than tree fort. Yeah. A real fun place. There's a, was it Fort Lewis and Clark? Yeah. Or Fort Clark, I think I stopped at near Independence, Missouri. I went to Fort Clark and went around walking around there. I don't know if I have a video of that or not. I think I did make a video of that, but it might be on Facebook. I don't know. I know I took pictures and all that. Class A RV versus, yeah, but mine's a 2000 Winnebago. I think it's too old. When I registered in Colorado, I don't even think they sent me a title for it because it's so old. They just register it. But they took my title. It's like, well, if you took one, you should give me one because now I don't have one. If I go to some other state that requires it, I'm fucked. So I'll probably retire this one here. I'll end up with the treasure before then. I'm looking for his trove out there. Nowhere in the poem, he says he hints of. He went for the drive with his treasure in the car. He didn't say he left it there. He hints of riches new and old, and you're looking for the old ones. If you find those old ancient riches that he's talking about in the poem and in his book, then he gives you title to the gold. That's a promissory note to go down to the museum and get it out of the vault. But don't go in the museum vault without gloves on. You can't touch anything in the vault without gloves. That's where the gloves come in. Who has the best chance of finding Forrest? Nobody's going to find his treasure. He has to give the title to the winner. He talks about prize and winner. Look it up. Just look it up. Go on Terry Scant. Look up prize. Look up winner. Look up, you know? What are you talking about winners? There's somebody has to fit his idea of the Indiana Jones type like him. It's not somebody, nobody's going to stumble on it. For instance, the 200-foot searcher. They were going from point out, oh, we were here, Forrest. Well, then you went past here. Well, maybe they stopped and took a picture there, and it wasn't part of their solution where they took the picture, is why they didn't find it. And then they have to have the imagination to see the shapes in the rocks. If they ain't got that imagination, they ain't going to find it. That's it. Okay, well, yeah, I'll take it easy. I got to let my gums rest. Maybe another week be able to talk more. But my upper jaw is hurting. And they say, I thought that was part of the skull. You know, it's called an upper jaw. It's like, well, it's part of the skull. It's attached. And I didn't know if when they took the teeth, if they cracked that bone more than just taking the teeth. I don't know. But whatever this infection, if it's in my bone, you know, gone in from my teeth, going in my bones, and I got bone cancer, it ain't good. You know, and I need my doctor to get more involved. This infection don't go away. I think I needed 2 a day of these, not just 1 a day. That first day it kicked its ass, and then it's like, oh, I feel it. I know when it's time to take the pill because I feel it coming back. Okay, good night. Have a good one, Mitzi. And Whoopi and Lavender Blonde. And they're 2 different colors. Oh, you don't like strawberry maybe. Yeah, okay. Lavender is kind of a purple. Oh, okay. I've seen some of them hairdos. Shanktopotamus, good night. Good night. Who else got to say good night to? That's about it. Deb, V, JB. Yep.